folks, it's Wednesday. What date is it today? I know it's hurtling towards Christmas. It's Wednesday, the 11th of December. And it is time for Wednesday guitar lessons from the book guitar class. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m, here in Huddersfield. That's what it is. That's how it works. 7 o'clock, turn up. Yeah, bit of waffle at the beginning. But that's okay. We do the roll call, say hello to people, all that stuff. We wallop the like button. I can see that there. Wallop that like button there. Make sure this video gets out. And then what I'll do is I'll just show you what we're going to do today, guys. So if you have the book, this is what we're going to do today. This is today's lesson. 12 bar blues for small hands. Look at them. Look at them. Yeah, I ain't got long fingers. Got stumpy sausages. I know some say, oh, well, those are long compared to mine, but they're still a struggle. And it's the stretchiness. Yes, the width and everything else like that. A struggle. And it's like, I know some guys that got amazing hands and the thumb can go over 3 strings at the top and all that business. And it's just, I'm so jealous. But what do? Well, you work your way around it, don't you? If God gives you lemons, life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make lemonade. That's what it is. So yeah, like I say, this is lessons from the book. Mrs. Ricky has put have you pinned that to the top? Yeah. Mrs. Ricky's pinned it to the top what the lesson is. But I'll just tell you, it is lesson 48, page 54. Am I showing you the wrong bit there? Yeah, I think I was there. But the thing is, these two tie in together. 12 bar blues for small hands. Did I show up the wrong page? Yeah, I did. My bad. But the thing is, these 2 pages, I struggle with this. I might jump into the next page there. I might end up jumping into lesson 49 and lesson 55 because that's the way I compiled these lessons together so that they glue and stick into each other and they work together. As you can tell, I sound very husky and very manly. Yes, I should probably have some honey or something, but got a little bit of a bit of a kind of a chestiness, so I apologise in advance for if I end up coughing and spluttering. I won't. I'll do my best not to. Nobody wants to see that. I'll do my best not to. But if you haven't got the book and you want the book, let me just tell you something. And it's this here. Look at that. See that barcode there? That QR code. You can scan that. That'll take you to the store where you can get the book with 80 lessons. You can get it from Amazon, where it's an Amazon bestseller. You can get it from Lulu, where it's a spiral bound and it's one of their bestsellers. And you can get it off my website as well. As an ebook where the videos are all neatly organised in one spot, so you don't have to actually hunt for them anymore on the book. They're on the bottom there. You can follow the link on the bottom and you'll get to the lesson, but why not just have them all in one spot? And that's what I did. So I did that. So that is all about the book. 12 bar blues, guys. We're going to look at 12 bar blues. And actually, I think how it it moved on a little bit as well, you know, sort of like through the 60s and it was like, we can change this and we can do some interesting things with it. So that's what I want to get into and show you today. Now, the thing is, if you didn't know that this was the lesson that we were going to do today, then, you know, obviously you're not in Fretboard Fraternity. And the Fretboard Fraternity just there is a free, doesn't cost anything. It is a free community where you can come and talk about guitars. It's wonderful. Greg was in there. He's telling us all about his new SG that's coming. We like pictures of guitars. We like pictures of guitars and dogs. Yes, well, that's me. I like pictures of dogs as well. So there we go. So we've got the Fretboard Fraternity. Get yourself in there. Now, here's the thing. What happens? What generally happens with this? And I've got a few little Easter eggs as well that I've put in there. I usually put the lesson together and I think, all right, what am I going to teach? And I'm going to teach this, and I'll teach to the handout. And then I thought, all right, but I like to put a couple of extra bits in there, a couple of little things that you go, all right, well, I can use that as well. So it's all about taking what's in there, expanding those 80 lessons and making it bigger. And then you can see the connections and you can have those light bulb moments, have those little ahas. And then you go, all right, okay, now I know Now I know how it all works. So, see, told you. So what we've got there is we've got that. But any extra PDFs to do are for members of PDF Club, which is brilliant, actually, I think, because if you like my lessons and you like the PDFs that I do for free, you know, on my regular uploads, those are always going to be free. They're always free. If you see one of my lessons and it's not a live one, and it's just a regular standalone video, if you go in the description, there's a link there. You click on there, and you get the PDF for that lesson for free. Yeah, that'll never change. But if you want the convenience of getting to all of the PDFs in one go, all of them, everything I've ever done, and some extras and some other bits and bobs, then what you might want to do is go to PDF Club. If you see there, it says Get PDF Club, tells you what goes on in there. You know, so yeah, so that's kind of how I start this lesson. I give you a little, tell you what's going on, you know, tell you what's going on and how to get to stuff. And yeah, like I say, the Fretboard Fraternity, go join that. It's great, you know, it's free. It's free, guys. You can be yourself. There's no ads, there's no politics, there's nothing like that. Nothing, it's great. Right, so that's what we want to do. What I always do as well is I do the roll call. People are turning up. This is a live lesson. Yes, this is a completely live lesson. It's not pre-recorded. It's not a webinar. So we're here and we're live. You can ask questions. Mrs. Ricky is moderating in the other room. So if you hear me shouting at her, then you know that's what's going on. I just shout at her. Some people think she isn't real. Some people think she's a vapor, but she isn't. She's not AI either. Yes, Miss Ricky's knocking around somewhere. I anticipate a cup of Yorkshire tea at some point when she remembers me, that I'm up here, you know, dying of thirst. I need the thirst quenching. I've got some water here. I'm not really dying of thirst. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I do like a cup of tea. A cup of Yorkshire tea. I'd say that a bit louder. A cup of Yorkshire tea. So that might get heard. So we've got all that going on today, guys. So 12 bar blues. That's the subject of today's lesson. And before we do that, like I say, I'm going to say hello to everybody. Oh, hang on. That was prompt. Oh, look. You see? That's real. A disembodied hand. Yes, here you go. Right. It's my same mug. It's half a cup there. What's going on there? Half a cup. I've got half a cup of tea. I don't know what to do there. I mean, I'm not going to waste it. I don't want to waste the tea bag. Okay, we'll have to have words about this. But is it hot? Is it too hot? Yeah, it's like molten lava. There we go. Cheers. Hey up. Yorkshire tea. Salute. There we go. So, yeah, so I'll do the roll call. If it's your first time today on one of my classes, then let yourself be known in the chat there, right? And I'll say hello to you. We'll give you a fanfare or something. Some Yorkshire. We'll give you some Yorkshire vibes in the chat there. So, yes, so because it's live, if you don't like the waffle, then you will probably need to wait till this video is done. And then after it's done, I'll put a timestamp in when the lesson begins. Come back. It's good stuff. You know, it's free. Yeah, so it's like it's going to be up here forever. So, you know, just come and have a look. And that's it's a bargain, isn't it? So, right, okay. You can have it for free. And if you don't like free, you can have your money back. So, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start the roll call because we're already in 10 minutes. We're already into this 10 minutes. I'd like this, getting it going quickly, not too long. So I've scrolled to the top of the chat. Yes, so birdsong greetings from South Oregon. Oh, it's cold here in Yorkshire, let me tell you. The Analog Kid, Eyup FretHeads. Robin Tate is in the chat. Evening, Ricky and family, and hello, guitarist. Yes. Gary Hill, oi oi, oi oi, Savaloy. Winston Moy from North Dallas. Tim Whiteside, happy Guitar Wednesday. Yes, indeed. Winston Moy, people around the world from different time zones. Always, do you know, Winston, it absolutely blows me away. I'm so I'm so very grateful for it that anyone would bother take time out of the day and like go look at the watch and go, oh, Ricky's on now, so let's go watch that. It's a bit like Emmerdale, isn't it? It's a one-man Emmerdale. If you don't know what Emmerdale is, then you need to just Google it. It's a soap set in Yorkshire, and everybody talks like me in it, and they're on a farm generally. So let's have a look. Dem Ravens, good evening, one and all. Good evening, Dem. Dem doesn't suffer from stumpy fingers. Rhythmically delusional right hand is my curse. Well, we all have our curses. Major Pentatonic in the chat. Can we see that nice new guitar today? I haven't got the guitar. I haven't got a new guitar. I haven't had a new guitar for a while. I'm probably getting withdrawal symptoms. I have been thinking about one lately. But no, that's Greg that's got a new one. He's in the fretboard fraternity. So if you want to, if you're in there already, then you'll see his post if you log in, and then we can see what's what. I do have something, and I'm just contemplating. I'm just like this here. I've got a couple of things to do. So while I'm at it, actually, just while you're here, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm behind on some things that I want to do. I have been out and bought myself, the X-Sonic pedal to switch the channels on my for my Yamaha THR 10-2, yes. But I thought, instead of just getting that, I got a looper as well. Look at that. That's the looper. This has come all the way direct from X-Sonic in China. Bought it myself. It's not a product that, I'm gonna do a review on it, see how easy it is to get it going. And if you've got one of those Spark amps, or there's a load of other amps that use they're kind of like tabletop guitar practice amps. The Spark, there's the Katana, there's all these other little ones. I don't know what they're like, but I do know what the THR's like. And I just figure these Wednesday classes could be better because it'd be great to get a looper on. And this is what this is. This is the looper. It's in a separate box. I've not unwrapped it yet. And this is the foot pedal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something with that. I think I might go, do you know what? I'll see what I've got on tomorrow or Friday, and we'll see where we are. But by end of week, I'm going to go on and I'm going to do a live, and I'll do a live unboxing and show you what this is. I've got to do this. All right, now I don't know if the guys are watching tonight from Charlie and John's Strings, yeah, so, but they sent me some strings, yeah, and let me just show you these. Let me push these up here. So they sent me these strings here, and we've got these. Now, I think they're made in the USA, but packaged in the UK. I'm not too sure how this works, but they're a British company, so these are, even our raw materials are made in the USA. So if you've seen them, I know they've got some ads running, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bang some of these on a guitar. Yeah, so I'll bang some of these on a guitar and see what they're like and see what I think of them. And, I'm not into this is not sponsorship or anything else like that. I've not made any agreements with these guys, so be brutally honest of what I think about these, because I get offered stuff all the time, and I say no, because I know that, some of it is absolutely pants, and I wouldn't even bother with it. So, but those looked good. I'd heard some things that were interesting, so let's have a see. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably do that by end of week. We'll see where we're going. And I'll do a live during the day, like I did before. So, look, distracted again. See, it's terrible. It is JB, Eyup, Rick from JB in Poland, I should imagine. Roger Smith in Illinois. John Steer, beautiful Texas. Let's have a look. Graham Bailey from the Scottish borders. Yes, chilly up there a bit. I'm staying for this. I have short fingers strumming. Let's add that to the broadcast. Let's have a look. I'm staying for this. I have short fingers and literally small hands. Looking forward to all the recommendations. Absolutely, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? You've got to engineer your way around it, and I'll get into that. So, that Jen, happy to be here. Stuart Smith, hi all. Sean's here. He's got a brew and guitar ready to point at the late people who have to do star jumps. If you've not been here before, you're late. You have to do 10 star jumps in the corner. Yes, it's punishment. Maria Muggs Davies is here. Hey up, good evening all. Phantoms in the house, in the chat. I don't like saying in the house, I don't know why I do. The cult members are waking up and get ready for the Wednesday guitar gospel. Thank you very much. Michael Gregg from Missouri. Let's have that. Clifford. Oh, it's Clive's in the house as well, in the chat. I've got to get rid of that, saying that. Billy Joe, here. Always. Yes, that's the one. No chalkboard rubber being thrown at you. Do you remember that? Do you ever get that? I used to get that all the time when I was at school. Thrown at me, back at head, book, slapped on head and all that sort of stuff. Oof. Back in the day when your teachers used to be able to reprimand you. Ooh, there we go. David Doherty, chuffing hell. Put wood in door. It's gone. Put wood in thole, mate. Yes. If you're not aware, put wood in thole. That means put the wood in the hole, which means close the door. That's Yorkshire. There you go. Thunder Ace, my OG, in the house, in the chat. Simon Edwards, good morning from Terry, Australia. Good morning, Simon. Great to have you here. Dave Blakemore, here from Woodbridge, Canada. Sitting here trimming his fingernails in preparation. I like that. Shane Coyne. Shane Coyne, good morning. Melbourne. Australia. Gary buckle up, here we go. Dale Sam from Belgium. Vicky DeMayo from Kentucky. Anton, hi Ricky and all. Hey everyone. Angus McDonald, hey Ricky et al. Good day. Wayne Johnson, Cowabunga from Cowtown. Got me again. Robert Mayle, hi from Robert Royce Kilbride. See him still going. Ralph 0808Z, greetings from the drone capital of the world. Okay, all right, I don't know what that is. Drone capital of the world. It sounds like just people walking around doing that. That'd be really weird. It'd be like some sort of like invasion of the Body Snatchers film. Harry Groker, hello from Wolves. Hi. Tom Zypher from California. Gary, freezing Scotland. Ooh, 6 degrees. Not good. Randy, hello Ricky C, and from Santa Fe County, New Mexico. Tony Duncan, good evening from German in the house. I like that. Michael Moss, hi Ricky, hello. Annick's in the chat as well. Yellow Ricks, missed last class, but here I am. This is me. Nowhere else on earth I'd rather. You know, that sounds like lyrics. You're a poet and you didn't know it. There you go. Lawrence is here in London. Been down there last weekend. Went to catch a nice show. Percy Jackson at the other palace near Buckingham Palace. There, recommend that show. Went to see it with the young'un. Very good. Martin Bailey. Hey up everyone from Hertfordshire, UK. Araman 3048. Hello from Bern, Switzerland. Tony Mason is in the chat. George Vacker is in the chat from Pennsylvania. John, hey up all lad. Hang on, I've got to give John this because it's like.
Now then, lad.
How's they doing? Yes. So that's what we're doing there. Hey up from Swansea, Ryan. Here we go. Lauren Legros, Lullaby et dans la place. Waiting for another good moment. Definitely, Lauren. Hopefully there'll be more coming. Strumming Ronin is checking in from England. Frank Wirricks, hey Ricky. Marcel Leblanc, hello from balmy 1 degree C Longueuil. Graham, do you like how I try and say it in the French? I like that. I do like doing that myself. Graham Penfold, hello from dreary Sandhurst. Oh, it doesn't sound dreary, you know, Sandhurst. It sounds a bit posh to me. John Essam, evening all. Cold night here on the Wash, Lincolnshire. Get me fat fingers. Fat sausage fingers. Sausage fingers, get them at the ready. So let's have a look. Tim C, let's have a look. Get that like button mashed, folks. Let's have a look. David Godley, I'm nearly ready. Just making the tea. Speaking of tea, let's have a sup. Stevie Boy, freezing. There's monkeys crying in Scotland at the moment. So David Doherty, newer lass from Yorkshire, who I won't I'm here all week. Yeah, and then you should be on stage. There's one leaving very soon. What is it? Telefunken. Hey up, Jeff Honor. Here again, I'll do all from Liverpool. Jerry Lindy in Sweden. Hello. And Gary Hill is saying hello to Stevie Boy, which is wonderful. I like that, how you guys all just say hello to each other and you catch up in the chat. It's wonderful. AMC, Ron Carrillo, AMC, buy some extender fingers. You could do, but it's not going to work. It's really not. There's those kind of weird things that you see on Wish. Those coloured finger things. I should just buy some just for the fun, just to see what they're like for playing guitar, and just see what happens. So I could do that. Falcon, hello, everyone. Stevie Boy, Alan Mackey, Brian Finlay, John Carver. Let's have a look who's in there. Scrolling down to the bottom because I want to get this lesson started. Let's have a look. There's a nasty flu bug going around. You've been barking for weeks. Yes, there is. It's not nice as well. It's not nice at all. We've all had a bit of it. Eyup, hello from Carmel. CA with petite hands. That's a nice way of saying it. But you are a lady, Cheryl, so this is what we'll go with, petite hands. We'll call that. We won't say small. So True S Armour, Sean says, I was a £70 weakling, then I bought Ricky's book. Now I can lift £700 and I'm better at guitar. Love it. Love that one. You couldn't get any better than that, could you? So let's have a look. Who else have we got in the chat here? Great, Jerry Moffat from Texas, Stuart Hildesley from Edinburgh, Ryan Shrinkflation. I don't know what that means. Is it like shrinkflation? Is that an economic term? I think it might be. Shrinkflation. That's it. Got to be careful what you're saying there. Brian Finlay, just can't get the... No, you can't. You can't, literally. Anton, Ken Webb's here. Oh, yes. Ken Webb, first time here. Welcome, Ken. Thank you for coming along. I appreciate you coming along, looking at my mug. I think that is...
Hey, that's champion, old lad.
Yeah, it's champion. You decided you bought the book. Really appreciate you supporting the work on the channel. So that's really, great that you're here today. And anybody else, remember, if it's your first time, I'm just seeing one here. They're commenting. I can't wait to get to it. Scott Simmons, dude. Scott from Colorado, beautiful here. Oh, thanks, rub it in there, dude. You know what I mean? Max Quagmire, my hobbit hands. Thank you. Hobbit hands. I should have put that on the thumbnail, like hobbits. That would be a good one. John Jenichik, Santa Fe, New Mexico. I think that's how you say it. Richard Grissom, up South Florida. Dennis K. Richard Henkel from Cherryville. Cherryville sounds cool. Giovanni Annunziata, is that it? Ciao Ricky, ti rivedo con piacere da Napoli, Italia. I think, that sounded very Italian to me, but I'm a Yorkshireman, so it would do. An unboxing. NKN, hello from Norway. Bob P in Virginia. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Lou, hello from Dayton, Ohio. X-Sonic inflatable guitar. None of those inflatable guitars. So we got that there. Warren Ridings from Somerset. Ex of Rochdale. Rochdale, over there, where they have a chair. Where you have a chair, you sit on a chair and you brush your hair. That's what. Am I right? Am I right there, Warren? Is that what? Have you still got it? Have you still got that twang? Mind you, if you're in Somerset, then you got that one as well, haven't you? So it's like over there. Crikey, it's surprised you don't get tongue tied. That one with that would be a right old accent. Yeah. Like wrestling a snake. So, Vicky DeMeo, I really enjoyed the Spark 40. Stopped using my pedals for now. Yes, I'm thinking about that. Hi, Jeff Hyatt says, hi, do you all like some of Nancy Griffith's songs? You know what? I love Nancy Griffith. She's got a very unique voice. Duke of Earl, hi, Ricky from Virginia. Hello to NKM from Norway. My grandparents came from there before World War II. There you go. And it says, not the topic. Got Ed Sheeran concert tickets for the first time. India tour. All right, okay. Well, enjoy that. Hope you enjoy that. Mike here from Oldham. You're just over road, mate. Michael, you're just down road. That's where you are. Down road. Claude Capodestra from Montreal, and let's have a look. Michael Gregg says, small hands is why I gave up on piano. All right, okay, so this is what we're after, isn't it, really? Rusty Mohican from Orange County. And let's see, Our Skies to Do, hello from Michigan, USA. Frank Wicks, Belgium, Antwerp. Let's have a look. Dennis K thought would have meant something else. No, it means close the door. There you go. Every day's a school day, isn't it? Right, so Walter Ho, hello from Germany. Inga Knoll, do you all like the video already? Yeah, nobody's liking this video. There's plenty of people here. Let's have a look. Who else is in here? We've got Richard Hall, hello from Long Beach. Jerry Linda in Sweden. Bill and April, hello from Myrtle Beach. There's lots of people on beaches. Sounds very nice. Danny Riddle, Eyup from across the Chilli Valley. Yeah, very close. Yeah, very, very, very close indeed, Danny. Let's have a look. Richard Dobson from Barnsley and Mr. Ruttle. There we go. So we got some people who know each other here. I love it. Reggie Poole, always enjoy your lessons. Thank you, Reggie. I appreciate you enjoying my lessons. That's the whole reason I do them. I enjoy them myself, you know, so that's the thing. Con, I'm back after a year of guitar. Don't give up again, Con. You don't play guitar for anybody else. You do it for you, mate. You know I say this at the end of every lesson. Oh, hang on. And here we've got Nicholas DeBoard. Evening, Ricky. We're jamming. We're having a jam last night, weren't we, Nick? Yeah, we're having a jam. Like just seeing what we want to do and have a play. So potentially a little musical project kicking off in the offing. Yes, so that was a lot of fun. Apart from the lack of heat, because that's what defeated us. Defeated me at the end of the day. So we've got Mark Kuhn, Mark from Hudson. I think that's Wisconsin. Red Walrus, howdy. Rocket 67, hi folks, Eyup. Matthew Miles, Eyup, fancy that. Claude says he likes my French accent. Well, that's it. Our skies today says, lesson please. Told you it was going to come. I knew it was going to. I've been stifling it. Matthew Miles says, I was just browsing and found you live. So this is your first time? It is your first time, isn't it, Matthew? Well, there you go. Hello. Welcome. Thank you very much. And what do I do? I'm going to give you some applause. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time and stopping. Yes. Okay. And ours, guys, it's 165. Okay, yeah, let's get that like button walloped, guys. And that's Robbie 1 and Gunnin. Gunnin, hey from Antwerp. Right. And that's it. Oh, that's Burnley. That is Burnley. You're right. It isn't Rochdale. That is Burnley, isn't it? Burnley. It's not far away though. It's not far away. I think it's over the border, isn't it? So let me then. This is it. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to say, right, this is officially the start of the lesson. Yeah, we're about half an hour into the chat. Oh, thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate that. Just have a sip of this tea. We're going to start on with this lesson right now. Just blow me nostrils. Get that up. Get that out. And then I can focus and concentrate on what we're going to do today. So, the problem that we have is with 12 bar blues, and especially myself, you know, this is something, like I say, I've got stumpy sausage fingers, and you know, I do say that I'm a bit envious of people who have long fingers, but from being a guitar teacher, I'd rather have the challenge and have to figure it out, and because then I can teach it to somebody else. I can help somebody else get over that challenge, because it's hard to you know, discuss something if you're not familiar with what the challenge feels like. Does that make sense? If I had long slender fingers and I'm going, oh, look at how this works, and it's like there's no problems. But if I've got the problems myself, then I have to engineer my way around it, and that's what I like to do about this. So this is the whole idea behind this. Now, what we do, nostrils in my headphones. Sorry about that, Robert. Oh, that wasn't too loud. Now, what happens is, it's this stretch. Now, there are ways, so this is a tangent, there are ways we could stretch them out. But do you know what? I always forget. I've tried all sorts of different things, and I've got some exercises that I do for stretching your fingers out. And if you can keep up with them, then it's good, because it's like, yeah, you've got to stretch these things out. You're not going to be, you know, like an acrobat if you don't stretch and all that stuff. An athlete. If you think about it, it's athletics with your fingers, isn't it? It's gymnastics with your fingers. So you kind of have to do those stretches, and there's all that sort of stuff. But you know, realistically, adults, do we stretch? I don't think we do. I don't think we really have time for that. So what we need to do is we need to see what we've got, yeah. And I think about it from this perspective of, well, how wide can I stretch? And I haven't got a wide stretch. You know, it's just one of those things. So what I do is I music theory the heck out of everything, and I use my understanding of intervals. And this is where I came at this whole idea. And what it is it's the 12-bar blues shuffle. Yeah. Now you might know this. This might be. I hope this is not too loud, but you'll tell me if it's too loud, or you'll tell me if it's too quiet. Yeah. So. Now, that is the 12-bar blues shuffle that I'm on about, yes? So basically, let's talk about what's going on there. Hang on, but there is something. Will these stretches work for other body parts? Yes, they will, Sandy. Oh. Right, I see what you said there. Right. For your legs, yes, they will do, and your toes. Right. Okay. So what I'm saying is, yeah, you've got to be careful what you say there, right? If you've got me there. So what we want to do is these stretches, you can stretch them out, and they will work. You know, if you commit to doing them, and this is the thing, is like I say, committing to them. So what I do is, and I'll just go through it, and it's like what I used to do a lot was I'd push these fingers apart, because it's this tendon. Remember, the tendons and the ligaments in between the fingers here, they're stiff here. They need stretching out. So you've got to stretch them out there, like that. You know, so what I do is I just hold them like this. I never push too far. I just feel the tightness in that webby part there. Push my fingers apart like that, and just hold it for like 10 seconds, and then I move on to the next finger pair like that and hold that. And there is a benefit, I feel, to doing it, and I might stretch my fingers back another way. I know I used to have somebody who showed me, oh yeah, you do it like that. You put your fingers in to your wrist like that, and then you put it like that. But then I remember I went to a concert and I got like, you know, the thing around your wrist, and the geezer said, that's the biggest wrist I think I've ever seen in my life. Says, you got big wrists, you. So I don't know if that's going to overstretch that there. So look, you could do that just to hold it, yeah? Stretch that in place, and then that should stretch that out. But it's one of those things, it takes a little bit of time, you know, doing it every day. Do it for a couple of weeks. After a couple of weeks, you start to notice there's a bit more flexibility. And then what you could do is, and I do this as well, is I hold my palm out like this, and I get a finger, and I pull back here. And what I'm doing is I'm stretching out in the palm here. So I'll pull down, I get a finger there, and I'll pull down. I use the back of this hand against this one to get a lever motion, get a pivot going on that. So I'll pull back there. This is, you know, when I was playing a hell of a lot at music college, this is what I used to do a lot of this. So I'll pull that there and hold it. Now, if you're double jointed, then you might be pulling it back forever. You don't know. But like, and then pull back the next one here, and the ring finger, and just pull it back here. So you're just stretching it out, artificially stretching it out there by using another hand to do that. And this one here, I think this is important. This one is the thumb, and what I do is I hook over the thumb from underneath, and I pull down on the thumb, and that you can see it stretches out the whole of the palm. I can feel there's a slight burning like sensation in the skin. If it's pain, if it's sharp pain, stop. Don't do that. Yeah. So the thing is, you just pull it out and stretch it out a little bit there, and then that just loosens the hand up, and then give your fingers a little wiggle like this. Yeah. And then you give them a wiggle, and then you should feel that they're a little bit more looser. Hopefully, that's the way it is. And I can already feel that that's a little bit wider. I can feel that it isn't as narrow as it was before. Something worth noting as well, and I've done a video on this about small hands, and this is what you've got to bear in mind. And you might, if you're playing power chords, which this does involve a power chord shape is. Well, let's have a look at this. This is my ruler, and we'll do it there. So if I hold my hand up there like that, right? And I measure from the tip of that finger to the tip of that finger there, right? That gives you your stretch, yeah? So you can measure it and you can see if the stretching exercises actually work for you. So you put that there, you stretch, and then you see how far you can go. Now that feels more than I usually would go because I've just stretched them. So you could think about it that way. But notice what happens. So that, let's just say, let's call it 5.5 inch in English, yeah? We'll call it 5.5 inch. But watch what happens when I turn my hand over, and if I go like this, yeah? If I go like this and I measure there, then what I get is this. I get a massive reduction. It's looking for my eyes. Look, you see, when you pull the fingers in, when you draw the fingers in, you lose the spread. Yeah, so the fingers, as they contract in, so look at that. So you got that there, pull it in, and it contracts. And you can see, well, that's my hands, because your fingers don't run like like rails going down in a line like that. They don't. So when you're wide like that, you put them wide, then you've got to kind of account for that. And that's important when you're playing chords as well. So that adds to a problem there. That adds that kind of like, sorry, pinpoints a problem, and it's like, and once you know what the problem is, you can think about it and you can adjust your hands accordingly. And the thing that I always say as well, which is part of why I talk about this in the thing that I call my clockwork chords idea, which gives you smooth chord changes, is utilizing dominant fingers that you use. Yeah, so you'll have a dominant finger, which is usually this one, because this is the one you do most of the stuff at, accusing people of nicking your last bit of chocolate. Not that I've ever done that to anybody because it doesn't last that long. So, so what I'm saying is that this isn't a dominant finger. You wouldn't use that to point at something. But you would do with this one. So the thing is that the index finger has the widest range of mobility because it pairs with the thumb. Think about it. It pairs with the thumb. So we want to reserve that for as much as possible for certain scales, especially for wider chords. So building it with that building chord shapes and things like that with that in mind, that's really useful to think about. It's just like, it's mechanics. It's how, and it's like everybody's hands are different. Everybody's hands are different. So there is no set way to do this, this idea. So, and I'll probably show you a couple of ways of going around this. So what this is, this lesson is all about this 12 bar blues. And what this is going to do is I'm going to show you how we do it. Now, I'm going to do it the awkward way first, with the way that I struggle with myself. And if I play it here, I'm going to play it the 8th fret because I just want to show you that it is tricky for me. Yes? All right, so if I go here, what I'm going to do is I'm building a power chord. This is where that shape thing comes in. So if you've got this curvature on your fingers and you're trying to hold a power chord in, you haven't got as wide a stretch. If you flatten your fingers, you'll be able to widen them and you can reach further. So if you make sure your fingers are flat, if you have this claw, yeah, then you're not going to be able to get that power chord. So just lay your fingers flat. And my fingers are now touching all of those strings there. And that means instead of playing a power chord with my first and my third finger, I can actually play it with my first and my middle finger. So you can see. So I've got that there. So that's my power chord. Now let me show you what the 12 bar blues riff does, right? And I'll explain it in theory as well, because that's important, because the intervals that make up this riff, they help you to really understand what it is you're doing, because when I show you this way of playing it easy, then you can identify intervals as well. So we've got this power chord here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the pinky on here, and what that does is, so that's a root and a fifth. That's your power chord. Now when I extend it up there, what happens is that becomes a 6th interval, but we think of it as a dyad. Like the power chord, we think of it as a chord. We can think of this as a chord, so that's and I think of it as R6, but I do relate it all, because this is a blues, I do relate it all to a 7th chord. So I would think to myself, you go was going to play the chord, I'd play a C7 there instead. And it's because of this note here. Now you can see I've got my pinky there on the 13th fret there, and I've got my first finger up there. My first finger on the 8th fret there for the C. And I haven't got these fingers on as well, because these, if you put those in there, they restrict your movement. So we've just got 2 points on them. So we go. So you can see that works adequately. But here comes the problem. The frets there they're nice and easy to manage, but as I move down towards the head stock of the guitar, it gets tricky because the frets are wider. And this is the problem. If I wanted to play a blues in, say, F or something, look at this. I cannot do it. I know I can't do it, yeah? So there's my power chord. Yeah, I'm going here. Now getting to this flat 7, look. It's a nightmare, yeah? It's a nightmare, guys. And that's the thing. That's the limits. You've reached the limits of your stretch. This is like why people give up, because they think, oh, I can't play these chords. I can't do this. So, right, well, that's wrong. We can hack it. And that's what today's about, yeah? So yeah, that's the thing. It enables you, your stumpy sausage fingers, to be able to do this. And I can play that because of just music theory, the heck out of it. So, we've got that stretch there at the 8th fret. Now, what we can do is, there's a couple of ways of looking at this blues shuffle. We can just keep it so we're switching, we're alternating. Let me zoom in on that one. Between the power chord and that 6 there. But we can extend it up to this flat 7. Yeah. Oop. Okay, so we've got that one there. Right. So there's the root 5th. There's the root to the major 6. And there's the root to the flat 7. Now, because we understand that information, then what it means is we can utilize that information and we can move things around. Now, what I'm going to do actually is I'm actually going to just the way I came across this, and subsequently afterwards, somebody was I saw something and somebody says, oh yes, so and so, some old blues guy played it like that. But the way I came about it was by thinking. I was learning. I'll tell you what I was learning. I was learning. Drop D, yeah. I know it's originally in Dadgad, right? Yes, Kashmir. And the thing is, I just like this idea of how we had this static note here, the root note, and all the other notes, all the other intervals that make the riff interesting, they move around that note. So, you know, you can see here it's got the power chord. And then what happened was, I realised you could go up there. That was a game changer for me, because there's another way you can look at that. You can, if you're thinking of that as the root note, and that is the 5th. Yeah, and this is the root note, and this is the flat 6th. Or you can think of this as the root note, and that's the 3rd. It's kind of an inversion, right? But we won't worry too much about that. But just for this exercise, I just thought that note there as the root note, and basically I'm just altering the interval to make the riff. That's what Jimmy Page did. So we got that one, minor 6th. Now the next one's a major 6. But what Jimmy Page did was he went like this, like that, and that was the one. That was the game changer. And I realised, and I thought, well, hang on, let's have a look. Can I do the power chord like that? Yeah. So this is the riff. There. You get that there. guitar volume down a bit? Is it just a little bit too loud? I'll just knock it down a bit. Is that better? So, if I take that there, now notice I'm playing my power chord now with my middle finger. Yeah? But, and we've got that pinky on there. So there's the root, and there's the fifth. We've got that. There. That's another way of playing the power chord. Now, if you've ever done any metal, then this is a kind of an exercise. That's good. Just shifting up the power chords, getting some finger independence there. So that's a really cool one. But look, so, and then it went here. There. And that's the flat 7. So there's my power chord, right? And then there is my 6th, and there's my flat 7. Yeah, and then it moved to, the octave. So what Jimmy's really doing is he's doing chromatic voice leading, but we don't need to do that. We just need to just go switch between those two. Now the thing is, you could play these as independent chords. You could play your power chord still like this. Yeah. Yeah. Lot of movement. Lot of movement going on there. The audio is low and the guitar is too loud. The audio was fine. I'm not too sure. Right, okay, well. Alright, okay. I turned the wrong one down. There we go. We'll try that. We'll see if that's better. So what I do is, because the reason I want to use these two fingers here, okay, is because I want this first finger ready and poised for a quick change. And then if I look here, you see my third finger, my ring finger, is just underneath there. Now what I'm doing is instead, when I played this riff here before, if I play it here at D actually, hang on, no, that's, we're going to have to tune up. Yeah. Yeah, so now I'm doing this at the 10th fret because it's a D. I wanted it to match this here. This is on 2 strings, so we take that idea that's on 2 strings, but what we do is we jump over a string. We jump over a string. So look, watch. So instead of playing that 6th there, we play it there instead on the G string. So instead of it being on the D string, I move it there. It gives me this 6th shape. Yeah, so we got that there. And because I know my 6th is there, yeah, that's my root, there's my 6th, then I know my flat 7 is going to be here. Because I know, if you've seen any of my intervals lessons where I talk about octaves, the reason you need to know your octaves, there, there's the octave, major 7, minor 7. Right, okay, I'll put the voice up a bit more. That's where it was before. Yeah, so that gets me to my flat 7 there. So it helps me. So it's gonna, you know, it's just one of those things. When you learn riffs and things, it's always good. It's always good to apply the theory to it and as much interval knowledge as possible. So you get those intervals down, okay? So, am I muting the D string? When I'm playing that, yes! And I'm muting the D string with the pad of this middle finger. Yeah, the pad of the middle finger there is muting that. Just muting it out. And then, so all I'm doing is I'm playing those 2 notes there. Notice what else I'm doing. My first finger is muting the B string underneath it as well. And also, yeah, my first finger is also catching on there as well. So muting is a kind of a delicate art. My thumb, I'm doing what I call muffin topping. Yeah, my thumb's over the top and it's just skimming the E string there. So that's muted as well. Which means as a net result, what I can do is I can strike all 6 strings and those are the only 2 notes that ring out. Yeah, so I'm muting 4 strings. Even though those fingers doesn't look like, it looks like I'm only holding 2 notes down, but I'm muting 4 strings, but playing 2 notes there. Yeah, and that's the idea. It takes some playing around with finding the angles of where things go to make that happen. Yeah, and you're not killing notes or sounding other strings as well. Okay, so we've got that going on there. So this is the whole idea of the riff, guys. So we've got this root there. We pick a root for his chord, okay? Right, and then what we do is we get the 6 and then we get the flat 7. So if I play that now, what I like to do myself is I like to use this middle finger as a pivot. So I go like this. Can you hear that? That's it broken up into its constituent parts. There's the power chord, there's the 6, there's the flat 7. Now if I put some rhythm on it, now hopefully you can see that I could equally do it down here. But what do you do when you run out of open strings? Yeah, because I can only play that in using the open strings that I have there. I can do it with an E. I can do it with an A. I can do it with a D here. It's tricky to do it with this one. We're not going to go near that. So those are the 3 that we generally tend to do. But if you stretch in, and it's difficult, then what we need is we need to use this idea. Okay, so what we do, yeah, is that there. Right, okay. Now what we can do with this is it will transpose. The whole idea transposes, and that's because of the muting. Yeah, that's because of the muting. When we do the muting, it keeps it nice and tidy. That was a minor brew. It was a minor brew. It's still going. But what we're going to do now is, instead of doing this, struggling with this, say I wanted a blues, let's change this to a blues in G. I'm going to use this 3rd fret on the thick E string as my tonic, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize the L7 grid, which is in the book. I'm going to use the 7 part of the L7 grid, which tells me where the major chords are, and that it would be the pattern. Now I can punk that up, which is a big clue, guys. Look at this. I can play this as a punk thing. Yeah, so I could punk it up, play some punky chords, and that was a big clue for me, because I thought to myself, well, let's apply this idea here. I'm going to switch this around here. There's my power chord. There's my 6th. Okay. That there, right? There's the flat 7. So let me take that out. Okay. Now you see, I've done that with the G. Now, if I follow that part of the grid for that punk rock thing, now I can do the same thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it here. Okay, so that's the next one. Okay, don't worry, NKN, I'll come back to it. I'm not having to stretch up here. You see, that would involve me going like this. I can't play that. My fingers just do not do that, okay? So that's at the 3rd fret. Well, watch how cool this gets when I want to do it from the F down here. You imagine I have to go from there to there. on a stretch on using 2 strings. But what I can do is, because this is my root note, I can actually just play that like a normal power chord. And when I take my finger off, I'm muting out the A string and I'm playing the open D string. That's my 6th. The open D string there is going to give me, yeah, my major 6th. You know the major 6th sound because it's regrets. Oh, hang on, wrong key. Regrets. Yeah, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. Yeah. Right, so we've got that. So we put the power chord on. And then look at that. So that enables me to play it in a position that I previously, I previously thought that was unavailable. Give up. Don't bother even trying because my hands aren't going to let me. Yeah. But just if you know your intervals and you theory your way around it, there's always a way. There's always a way. We place the notes on a different string, and that enables us to revisualize and form it around our hands. Because the thing is, you can change the chord shapes. You can't change your hand shape, without surgery. We don't want surgery. So the thing is, that's the way that this idea works. Now, what I do, like I say, is if I take that there, this is chord 1. Okay, so that was once around. Does this make sense, guys? You see, I'm not stretching at all, but I'm getting the sounds that I want. Yeah, so this is how we do this. Now, the wonderful thing that I realized about this is now I'm not subject to playing that riff in that kind of standard. I can mess around with it. And this is what I think, and I think Mick Ronson from Bowie did this a lot, and I hear it in 70s glam rock, 1970s glam rock, Tiger Feet and Mud and all those guys, all that kind of stuff that was around. And what you can do is you can just keep this, and you don't have to follow the blues thing. You can ditch the blues thing, which is kind of what I think that the 70s rock was. The foundation of 70s rock is very blues based, but what they did is right. Okay, well let's move away from the blues chords and we'll move around the different format. So what you could do is you can do it. I'll just do it chromatically. Let me just do it chromatically. I'll zoom in on this one. I'm going to start on the G, right, and I'm just going to go up. You see, so you're going to get all these things. T-Rex, Sandy said it. T-Rex. So hopefully you see how that's going to work there. So I can add these different chords in. What a cool way of doing it that I think works is if you imagine your blues scale, or your pentatonic, sorry. You will just use the pentatonic. G minor pentatonic here. There's the root, there's the flat third, there's the fourth, there's the fifth. Now if I base it on that framework, yeah, so you can see that I could do that there. Oh. Yeah, so, and then, look, I don't even have to put the flat 7 in. So I'll go like that. I'll do it down here, G. Look at how this works. I'm just switching from the power chord to the 6th, yeah? So... So it means that I can put that flat 7 in a bit more when I want to. I'll slow that down, yeah? 2 on the power chord, 2 on the 6, yeah, and then 2 on the flat 7. So I'm doing 2. And the strum of this, it's a shuffle. It's swung. It's a swung rhythm. Yeah. So you're thinking about it as long, short, long, short. Yeah, that rhythm, long, short. Yeah, so what we can do is we can take that idea there, and I really like that way of doing it. You know, I'm not saying that you can't still do, you know. But it means you can add this to where you would play your chords. So if I was to think about that one, you know, and this is tying in with the lesson on page 55, which is this one. So this one, I particularly love this one in the G7 there. That one there that I'm thinking of as G7. That one there, if I take that there, and if I take this slowly, I'll do it slower. I'll do it slow, Richard. I've got my little... If you saw the little finger exercise I did as an upload the other week, you'll recognise this. I'm pulling off on the 3rd fret of the G string and the 3rd fret of the D string. Yeah, so I've got this. And then what I thought was, do you know something? You can do this you've got access to any key. You don't have to stay within the key because you can like do the glam rock thing, like I said. But then there's a lot of spotlight at the minute on Oasis, yeah. And there's a couple of things that they do, and that sort of indie sound, yes, the indie sound that you can do with this. And I know that when I'm playing that, the muting is what's keeping the strings quiet, and there's that sort of stuff going on. But what you can do is you can utilise this idea as a strumming idea as well. So I'll close up on that one because that's a really easy one to get your fingers around. So it says if you're holding a G chord, but what you do is you just leave the middle finger on, and it's that 6th we're going for again, because we're muting out the A string and we're focusing on this open D string here. Yeah. There. So just put that first finger on there. And I'm alternating between that. So you can see you can do other things with it. You can even use sort of like more modern, and I kind of think of it as Foo Fighters-y rhythms. Yeah. You see, that's tricky when you're doing it with this long stretchy one. Yeah, so You see, now what I've done is I've gone from the G to the F. Yeah, so that one that I showed you before. Power chord, muted A string, and the 6th, and then that flat 7 on there. So you start to see, I'm taking all that stretchy work out of the whole thing. Now, what I could do, how are we doing for time here, guys? How are we doing? Right, okay, so we're definitely on our way with this. So hopefully, let's have a look. Let's just have a little nosy, just see how everybody's going on here. Make sure everybody's up to speed on this. Yeah. Hopefully this makes sense. It takes the stretch work out of it. And you've got to think about this for all your chords. Not just what I'm showing you here. There are other ways around it. If you can't get the note on the... by skipping a string, then you might have to skip another string. You know, and this is where knowing your fretboard comes into play here. You've got to do all that stuff there. You know, Billy Joe, my life has now changed. And it will do. You know, it's just one of those. It's very rock and roll. You know, so F sharp. Yeah, you play that there, and you automatically know you can get that there. You know, all you need is a drummer doing a really audacious drum fill. Yeah, so we got that. Yeah, so we can do all sorts of... Now, and I should mention, yeah, I know I'm pivoting on this finger, and if you do find the stretch between the middle finger and the pinky tuff, yeah, then what you can do is just use your normal power chord shape. Like this, look, so it might take a bit more to get this nailed, but say I did it here at the G, then what I have to do is move. Like I would do maybe in a normal chord change, look. Moving from a D to a C, you wouldn't think twice about that. So you got to have you might have the same thing going on here. So you go. You see how I moved? There, can you see? But I prefer to use that little finger there. Yeah? Yeah, so I can... Key changes. Yeah, so you can switch. Now the cool thing is, now you might say, that's all well, Ricky. There is. This is a tangent, right? And I'm going to go back to this drop D again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that Kashmir tuning. It's not Dadgad per se that I'm using here. I'm just using drop D. So what I do is I play my D string, my open D string, record the sound in my head, and then tune the E string to the same pitch. And you hear both strings ring. Now this is the super cheat way of playing 12 bar blues. Remember that power chord where you had like this? Yeah, we had to play a power chord like this. Okay, you had to play it look, like that. Because of the tuning, what's happened is the power chord's like that. You just use one finger to bar across 2 notes there. It's called a double stop. So we're double stopping 2 notes. So if I start here, then what I need to do, all I need to do now is I know my 6th. That's the power chord. That's the root. That's the 5th. This is going to be a 6th. And this is going to be the flat 7. So look at this. Doesn't get any easier. See what I'm doing there? Drop D. Drop D. It's more than metal. Yeah, so it does this as well. That's a drop D that's a heavy vibe, is that one. Listen. Yeah, it's quite low. So you hear that's like, yeah, look. I'm using 2 fingers there. Doesn't get any easier, does it? I'm doing Jaws. Yeah, that's so there. Right, look. Yeah. You can hear that flat 7. Right. Now so that's one thing. That's one thing. But now I'm going to say Lightning Hopkins. I think it is Lightning Hopkins. Tune back up. Right. Right, okay, so here's another way around it. Right? So this is a bonus. This is a bonus, yes. Okay. What is this? NKN power chords are awesome. You need to use them. It's part of your repertoire. It should be part of your repertoire. You know, they're really cool, honestly. Right? Okay. So I'm sure he does appreciate the lesson. It's one of those things. Rewind, watch, slow down. There's a little cog down in the window down there. I think it is down there. Where is it? Down there. Yeah, on the replay, and there's a cog, and you can slow things down, and that's really, really useful. You know, so you can slow things down brilliantly with that, and I highly recommend doing that. So, and then I thought, and then it's actually a student showed me this, and I was like, of course, this makes sense. This is trickier because what we have to do is we have to get, when we're holding the chords, we have to arch fingers. So there's a barred finger, and then these fingers have to arch. And it's a bit like, if you can get this, you can get that kind of sort of Hendrixy thing. I've done a lesson on this. It's this little hammer on. I'll pull my zoom in on this one. I'll pull my zoom in. So here, if I do it here. Yeah, so if I do that there, I'm holding a double stop on a pair of strings, and the thicker string, what I'm doing is I'm hammering on it. So it's almost like an upside down, back to front power chord. Okay? Okay, so. idea there, okay? And I thought that, well, that's cool. When we ordinarily do this with the stretchy way, we have the power chord here. Yeah, that's the root, and that's the fifth there. But what we can do is we can double up on the root with the pinky here on the D string. So if we double up on that, we've got the fifth here, yeah, and then we've got the root here. So if we invert this, if we invert this power chord, then this is essentially a power chord. Yeah, it's the wrong way around. It's upside down. It's been flipped. Okay, so this is, I'm sure it was Lightning Hopkins. Now, I still imagine this note here to help me to think where my root note is. Yeah, but I remember it's there as well. But what I do is a double stop here. That's my root note. That's my fifth. And what I do is, yeah, a bar across there. I'm barring on that little double stop there at that 7th fret. Playing those two notes there. Then the third finger, notice the arch. It's important. Got to get the arch. Because I need the clearance for that string that's underneath of that string pair idea. This string here. I need this to ring clear. I'm holding the note down here. Yeah, so there's two notes. If you wanted to look at it, it would look like those are the two notes that are going to ring. What happens is I get a minor third there. I love this. I love theory. I love music theory because it's like, and if we think about it, right, the reason this works is if you think, I've done a lesson on inverting intervals and people go, Ricky, what's the point of learning how to invert intervals? Right, well, when you know how to invert intervals, you know that major becomes minor, minor becomes major, perfect stays perfect. Yeah, and sharp becomes flat, right? And everything adds to 9. There's 4 rules. There's a whole lesson on it. But the long and short is, if you take a minor third, yeah, and invert it, it becomes a major 6, which we've already been playing. We've been playing a major 6. And then what happens? So if I got this here, and I'm thinking that's an inverted power chord, okay? Inverted power chord. So if I invert that 6, then I get a minor third here. Like that. But I'm going to play that like that with that first finger barring over there. And then if I want to do it again, if I take this note here, that distance there, that is a major second. But it's also a flat 7 if I invert it. I might have lost you, but look. Yeah, my hand here, I'm playing the A string and the D string. Look, so let me show you. So, hopefully, this is, does that make sense? Yeah, but the thing is, was there any stretching involved in that? There was no stretching in that. I will diagram and tab that up and drop the PDFs for that in PDF Club. Yes, I'll do that. I'll drop them in there because that's going to go in PDF Club there. Yeah, so that is how you can take this and you can do lots of different stuff with it, you know. So, but that's a kind of an exposition of that same idea, just making it easier. It doesn't have to be stretchy, guys. Doesn't have to be a torturous thing trying to get a 12-bar blues out. Do you know? And I always think it's like one of the first things that I ever learnt. One of the first things that I ever learned in a kind of like jamming with somebody else. One of the things that you know is a blues, a 12-bar blues. Everybody who jams together, if you can play stuff like that, then you can have a lot of fun with that. You know, it was one of the first things I learned, and it's like, and as soon as I kind of had that down, I was like, oh, I need to join a band and, you know, jam with other people and do that sort of stuff. So, John says, can you do that not inverted, following by inverted? I can't do it not inverted because the stretch is too wide for my fingers, John. And that's what it is. That's the whole point of this lesson. But that Lightning Hopkins one was, I'll just go over that again if you want. Yeah, I'll just touch on it again. and I'll explain what it is. Let me do it. I'm going to do this down here, right? This is where the original power chord would be. It's going to be a G. Okay? There's the G, okay? So that's the G again as a inverted power chord. That's the fifth, but I've put the root here instead. Instead of the root being here, an octave lower, I raise it up there, right? So that is a root. That's a power chord. I'm thinking it's a power chord. There's the root, there's the fifth, but it looks like a fourth. Okay, then what I do is I play this shape here. I arch over. I'm only playing the A string there at the 7th fret. First finger's at the 5th fret there. And then what I do is I play that interval there. That is a minor third. If we invert a minor third, okay? Okay, if we invert a minor third, minor becomes major. Okay, everything adds to 9. So take 3 from 9 gives you 6. Okay, so we end up with a major 6. So that's inverted as a major 6. Okay, that's what we're thinking of it as. And then the next one we need that flat 7, and we get that by playing this note here to this note here. That is a major second. Sorry, let's have a look. Minor third, yes, major second. So if we invert a major second, we get a minor. Remember, it all has to add to 9. So 2 from 9 equals 7. So this is a flat 7, minor 7 here. So you can see that that's there. Now, I just have to remind myself where these notes are going. But what I can do is I can just follow my string pairs. Okay? You know, I could even end on that funky chord there. Yeah, so I could put a turnaround in there. Which brings me to probably what I might talk about in the next lesson next week, which is probably going to be the last lesson maybe before Christmas. It's coming up Christmas. Yeah, when the flat third goes to the 7. Rocky, you just need to watch that lesson about inversions. Yeah, it's on my channel, inverting intervals. And once you get it, they're kind of like, I kind of think of them as almost like the colours. You know, like you see them complementary colour wheels. Have you ever seen those? And it's like, and you go, all right, okay, I've got a yellow here and it's going to be a blue over there, or some complementary colours. Yeah, so it's kind of a bit, like that. That's what we've got to think about. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. But the drop D, you've got that drop D version that you can also use, but we're just theorying the heck out of it, okay? That's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to call it, guys. I think I'm going to call it. We've been at it for a wee while now. And I think it's just about hit the end of that. The turnaround will come to the turnaround in itself, because it's bigger than you think is the turnaround, the whole idea of the turnaround. And what the turnaround actually does, I think it's important to dig into that. So we'll do that. And funnily enough, that's next page. The blues turnaround, the one that I give is lesson 50 on page 56 of the book. The turnaround is in there, and that's in E. But there's a lot to unpack with the turnaround. Okay. So inverting intervals, next week's homework. Absolutely, have a look at that, how that works. And inverting intervals, there's lots of use cases of how you mentally think about the sounds that you're creating, you know, and you can kind of equate them to each other, like I say, as complementary colours. So they are colours. I think of sound as colour myself. So no idea. Is that a new rock band? So we'll need to watch this one again. Definitely Stevie Boy. Absolutely. You need to watch it again and again and again. But what we're going to do is I think I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a day. And like I say, I will draw up a cool little PDF for this. I'll expand on that. I'll put the Lightning Hopkins idea up in there. I'll put the drop D idea in there as well, so that we can. So you've got that, and I'll flesh out this small hand version here that's on the page where this can go. So I'll pop that in PDF Club, and so if you, like I say, if you don't know what PDF Club is, then here's instructions of like what PDF Club's about. There it is, just down there. There's PDF Club. So if you want to find out what PDF Club is, it's there. That's where you get exclusive PDFs for the Wednesday night guitar lessons. That's the only place they ever appear, unless I write a book around them. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. But what you can do is you can join the fretboard fraternity and talk about things in there. That's great as well, you know. So Kickstart updates. Oh, Winston, we're so close. It's terrible. It really is terrible. You know, we've been ill, we've been away, and everything else like that. It's on its way. Honestly, no, I'm battling to get it out. I'm battling to get it out. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see. We'll get it out as soon as possible. If you're on the waiting list, there is a waiting list as well where I'll email you when it goes live. So if you're on there, then that's it. So Robert Mail, first online lesson. Oh man, thank you. Thanks for turning up. Let me just get rid of that fretboard fraternity thing. Thank you for coming along. Let's give you a bit of applause for that. Yes. All right. Welcome. Well, thanks for coming along, Robert. Nice to see you in here. Oh, Red Walnut, thank you very much. And also, I should say, thank you as well. I didn't say it at the time, to Richard Grissom as well. Eyup, and Marcel as well. Oh, thank you guys. It's like I can buy some Christmas cake for Mrs. Ricky. She goes through the stuff. No, you don't really, do you? I'm saying that now, and she's going to say, "Why did you say that?" Everybody's going to think I like cake as much as you, Ricky. Nobody likes cake as much as me. So, is there a Stumpy Fingers Blue turnaround? Yeah, there is. There's a Stumpy Fingers Blues turnaround as well. Yeah, of course there is. MZ came online when you had an early gift from Santa. When are you going to unbox it? Do you know what's inside? No, I think this. You're on about this. Yeah, I will be popping online at some point. By Sunday. That's the plan. Is to get up online and do an impromptu live. Watch your notifications. Yes, watch your notifications. And if you haven't subscribed and you haven't clicked that like after that lesson, then what's wrong with you? So yeah, make sure you wallop that like, and we will adjourn this for another day. Yeah, so I'll do that, and I'll do those strings, and we'll catch up, and it'll be a little bit. It's not a lesson as such. It's a bit more impromptu, bit more chilled. Get that quarter cup of tea for that. I am going through all the cakes. Cake. I mean, I was having a debate with my sister about what was actually superior, cakes or pies, and I was in a real quandary. It is a quandary. So. It's that inflatable guitar again. So guys, thank you for rocking up. Remember, don't quit. Remember who you play guitar for. It's not for anybody else. Yeah, you might think to yourself, you might harbour a notion. Yes, I've just retired. I'm 65. I've just retired, and I'm gonna learn how to play guitar. I'm gonna join a band, and I'm gonna get all the chicks. But that's shallow. And depends. You know, you don't want to do that if you're married as well. So I'm saying is, you know, you play guitar for yourself. Don't play it for anybody else. Yes, it's a journey of discovery of who you are. Keep you honest. Keep you like grounded. If you're one of those people that, you know, I think it's always a good idea to find something that you find a bit of a challenge. Keeps your brain going. Keeps your brain going as you get older as well. So the thing is, it's really, really important to find these little challenges. And if it's a challenge, then relish it. Don't see it as a negative. Embrace it. See it as something that is actually benefiting you, because you're keeping your hands moving, you're keeping your brain going. You know, you're keeping guitar shops in money, and being able to pay wages because you're buying guitars, and you know. And it's there's nothing nicer than just casting a glance across your room and just seeing a load of guitars. You know, it is the best. Yes, Yes, Anton says best hobby in the world. It is. It is absolutely the best hobby in the world. Yes, and yes, is that first guitar behind you a Hagstrom? No, there's some. Those are Jet guitars there. I keep meaning to do more with them. So sold my soul to a baker. Pies, no quadri. Who ate all the pies? Who ate all the cake? It's one of those. Right, guys. So what I'm saying is okay. Look after yourselves. Remember, it's near. You haven't got long to do your Christmas shopping. Don't panic. Yeah. And if you skin, yeah, and you can't afford it, tell people. Don't be telling them that trying to get yourself in bother with financially with that. So it's important, It's important, You just sometimes you just need to hear somebody say that. Yeah. Don't feel compelled and everything. But yeah. A card is good as well. So this is it. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm going now. I'm going. You can't. You keep talking, and it's like, you hang up. No, you hang up. Okay, so I'm going now. Take care, guys. Look after yourself. Look after each other. See you next.